All right, it's time for b4. Let's save that pawn. Go with the c pawn. No, let's go with the a pawn for now. E3. Okay. Take this way. Queen takes, bishop e2, castles. I've seen this position with the bishop out on f5. All right, we get our typical game. I mean, this has got to be good for white. There's no way around it. Dang, it's giving me the he's giving me the bishop pair as well. Okay, let's think here. What do we want to do? Taking this seems a bit weird, but I feel there's something to be said about, you know, the idea of just going fully after this c pawn. Black's probably going to play knight b4 next. And it feels like there's almost just a really easy game plan to target this pawn. So yeah, let's go ahead and try that. So this move is a little bit annoying. Just a little bit. I'm still going to take here, but I was hoping that this would have a bit of a greater effect. We play knight against bishop, but we have a clear weakness. Now, the pawn will be able to advance to c5. I'm hoping that that's the extent of it. Target that. Put this knight here. Okay, we're threatening knight d7, but obviously that will get prevented. Okay. And we do need an escape square, so I feel like something like g3 is to be played. The only reason h3 is, they have 3 squares just a little bit weak. So I do want to play g3, but I'll start with this for now. This is nice, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, okay. He did have queen a2 there, I think, but he's going to make our job just a little bit easier here. Let's push. I think we'll take here with the queen to get that trade. And this position is definitely winning. It still needs to be won. Like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's the simplest. Now, do we want to go here? I'm trying to remember how you would go about this. Let's try this to start. I think I like the idea of f5. Put the rook on b5. Can we get our king in? Oh, that's definitely going to be the move that loses things. right. GG to Randy. That was a great win. Thank you for that. It means a lot. People are so bothered by this B pawn. I'm telling you, it's the most common thing you see. How many times have we seen this exact position? Maybe with the bishop here, maybe not, but you get the idea. Everyone goes after this B pawn. But if the result of all these trades is a loose pawn here versus one pawn island, like, there's no discussion. It favors white. This is just the fact. Now, I decided to take because it just seemed like a really easy way to play. Put permanent pressure here and just play on the light squares, which is all we needed to do. And if Queen A2 would have extended the game just a little bit more, unfortunately for our opponent here, he did not do that. 1b4. It's taken us this far. It can bring us one more win. Let's get castled. Could go immediately with d4. I think we will. We just want to gain some space there. Queen b3 looks pretty nice. These are the standard squares we want to go to. Now we have the option to go for c5, but I do like knight d2. Just that c5 gives me an easy plan, but perhaps also gives my opponent an easy plan. I'm going to leave a rook here, maybe for the c-file, maybe to help on this side of the board. Yeah, this pawn is hit. We're happy to just move it though, so I don't really think that move is very important. We also have bishop a3 now. Queen b4, I think we'll just ignore that so that we threaten bishop a3 afterwards. And this is that's what happens with b4. You get a nice queenside push. Bishop's not developed. I think that we have to be in a better position here. Okay. I think we're going to clamp down on some dark squares here. Let's first trade the dark square bishops. And then I'm suspecting that e5 is the game plan. So I'm just going to go ahead and clamp that down. Because we've got the stone wall set up, but we've traded our dark square bishop. So it really has to be benefiting us. Let's keep going here. You know, b6 is a funny move. Definitely puts the pawns all on the correct color, but I think what we're really trying to do is a6. Just want to make sure that things work out here. Definitely the move to do. Okay, we'll go ahead and take that. It is pinned. But anyway, this is how you undermine a structure like b5 and then a6. Black doesn't have e5. Bishop hasn't even moved once. We'll just go ahead and take. Only question is, do we want to take here and make a new queen? Yeah, because this one gives the bishop a way out. It's all going to be winning, but we'll just save our queen here. Trade everything. We have such a stable position as well. Knight b5 in. And knight b5 also threatens c6, which I really like. And in the end, we're down an entire rook here. Let's go ahead and provide our king just a little bit of safety. Rook takes here, queen e2. I don't particularly care for that, so I think I'm going to move the knight. Knight e4 we can take. We can also do something like knight g5, which I do think is a nice move to do. Let's start with that. Because I know that he can't take it, or he doesn't want to. And we can do this. Actually thinking in some ways that this could be the way to go. Just a nice lazy move for a guy like me. And my plan is actually to take it. And this is why I said a plan for a lazy guy like me. Just gonna make a pass pawn and easily win the king and pawn endgame. And there we go. Now this one is from the course. That one's actually in the checkmate course. That one will pay some dividends. There are so many of your chess games that are going to end with king, queen versus king. So many. The checkmate course is worth it for this alone. I can't tell you how empowering it is to know that perhaps with good execution, less than 3 seconds is enough to guarantee a win. But certainly, even without absolute perfection, less than 5 seconds is more than enough. All right. B4. Ooh, I haven't seen this move before. Huh. So interestingly, if B5, perhaps queen B4 exists, I'm going to say yes. So in that sense, I'm going to play A3. Let's go for our same E3 move. Looking at knight F3, looking at C4, all of the typical ones. Let's go with the knight first. E4, we have knight into D4. Time for pawn C4. E4 we don't have to worry about for the moment, but it will certainly be a big idea here. We could try this, knowing that D4 we like a queen E2 idea. The other idea is to take and go knight C3 and try to keep the pressure on, but I'm thinking about this. Yeah, D4 we'll try to manage this with queen E2. Very important after D4, never play a move like knight E2. I just don't think that one will be working. Let's take. If pawn takes, I think that knight B5 may be very dangerous, so this may need to be knight takes D5. That's sort of the move that we want. And now probably, I mean, it kind of looks like a Taimanov at this point, so I think we just operate that way, all these pieces here, bishop E2, castle. Okay, f5. Go d3. If f4, we'll definitely be playing e4. Knight takes here, I think just wins a key center pawn, so we'll go ahead with that. Here we can take the free pawn. We can also try d4 to potentially win the queen. It all looks good. I think we just keep it damn simple. We have h3. I am hitting this pawn here. Really think I will take it, so I think perhaps made the right decision there, my opponent. Let's stop knight c3. f4 will go for e4. Yeah, we have an extra pawn here, so I think things are looking good. Might have to do some reroutes at this point. This is a clear threat. Make it easy. We're up a pawn, so I'm just going with the idea that every trade is good. Okay, so we got to bring our king here. Takes. I don't know about this. Could be an idea. Give it a try. We give an outside pawn, but we get some connected pawns in the middle. I might try rook h6 here with checkmate. So rook f3 becomes the only move. He doesn't play it. Now I think rook e6 is forced. It's so good to take this. I think we're just gonna have to do it. Yeah. All right, let me get this. Our king is nice and safe in the middle, so we'll go completely untouched there. GG Ilya. All right, so far so good. This was interesting. Haven't really seen queen d6 as a move. I think a3 that we did was correct. b5, queen b4 does look unnecessary. So I think this made sense. And then an early c4 is always going to be correct. First of all, it's exactly what we've been doing the entire speed run, and I think it works out even better here. And a pretty clean game. It was basically just a very good version of a time on-off. Not only are we playing with the white side, so we're up a move, but black did some very weird queen development as well. All right, Babacito. Go with b4, bishop b2. We want to get castle. We want to play c4. start with this. Let's go c4 first. It's an interesting move. Interesting move. Something about this does not feel good for black, but I'm not sure that we're... I mean, we always have bishop e2, just if we're not too sure of what else to play. I'm gonna go for this, and I don't know if bishop f7 is a move, but I think we're about to play it. With queen b3, and I think this could lead to something. There's gonna be something hanging here, so I actually think that king h8 is gonna be played, and that's not the most difficult move to play. There's no knight f7, so I think I am just gonna bring this bishop back, and specifically to c4, so we can go to e2 and break this pin, which looks annoying. By the way, I am threatening knight e5 now, in case maybe black leaves it there, but I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see something like rook h5. Ooh, okay. So we can take this, but funny enough, did things just get defended? Knight takes e5, queen here, d4. That could work. That could work. I think that's enough. Queen h5, though. We might need to play f3. Queen h5. We move the queen. Bishop d6. That's a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure. Like, I do think it's correct, but there's something off about it. So I think I'm going to go for f3 and then g3. And we'll say that works. I don't believe it, but good enough. And, you know, after bishop h3, like, I think we might even just kind of try to hand the material back here, if that's an option. It's not really the end of the world. We have a nice center here. And we did win some material earlier, so not upset with that. Rook b1, we need like a4. Presence of queens will always make this difficult. Yeah, let's definitely play a4 against that. No doubt about it. What? A weird variation. I don't know that taking was necessary. I'd probably wager that it was not. I go for this, and we try rook f7. Now, we're going to have some checks here. I don't know how good they're going to be. Yeah, queen d3 is surprisingly annoying, isn't it? Not really sure what is happening with this position here. We have this knight f5 idea. Probably just go ahead and play it. It looks like a reasonable pre-move. Oh, I guess we have knight d4, so we're not perhaps immediately lost, but we are lost. Ah, he did queen. Had to guess. GG. Babacito. So we blundered our rook here, which was sort of a pseudo blunder. It is a losing move, but didn't realize that it hung our rook until after. And then it's like, maybe you can make the best of it, but it is a losing position. This position should be good. This position should also be good. But I still think that there was a moment here where I almost feel like there was better. The engine confirms that's not the case. Yeah, no, we know we were doing the right thing here, but rookie one, keeping the material, should have done it maybe. I think it's still a tough position to defend, so I kind of preferred this. So it's more just we didn't play that well after, and I thought after knight here that on this we would be doing pretty well all on the light squares. That wasn't the case. This move actually, not the most dangerous, could play like e4 and force him to go back. So perhaps regretting f takes g4 in hindsight. No, sacking the rook is not best, but you don't sack a rook in that position thinking it's the best move. Of course it's not the best move. The computer will always hang on to material. You sack it thinking that it might be the easier move, like you're under less pressure, which was the case, and you give up some advantage for it. So I don't look back on that as a regret. Perhaps this move you could regret. Position's very stable, pawn structure looks good. Here things get a little wobbly. Still not a blunder by any stretch, but something you can look back and say, that wasn't ideal. But I have to be okay with the rook sacrifice. White's still in a great position after that. It's more that these opposite bishops are annoying when you're getting attacked. And due to the time pressure we were under, we just couldn't get our pieces where they needed to go. And even at the end when we kind of did do that, d7, big blunder. Big blunder. Hello, Shax. Welcome. Oh, here we have to go. Really? Maybe he got one. I don't know. Must just be me. 2 brilliancies? That doesn't make sense. Bishop f7 and knight e5. 2 brilliancies in a loss. That's my kind of loss. Geez, it's taking forever to analyze these. Are they going to take one away? They told me I had 2 brillies. Yeah, this one and this one. 2 brillies. We've had this position so many times. This move is not good, so nothing we really need to be worried about. We actually played everything pretty much correct, so we can only really be happy with this game. Perhaps not the greatest execution. All right, we're playing a doctor here. b4, bishop b2. Let's go for e3. We've seen this before. Now knight g5, just always a little tempting. Let's continue to leave things there. And I do think d4 makes sense now. After taking, I'll take with the knight, I think, just to take that bishop. Now, Knight d2, knight g5. Knight g5, there's bishop f5. I don't think that's ideal. Unless we follow up with f3 and that's good. I don't think that it is. Let's go here. Go, you know, a4, queen b3, these kind of things. Bishop a3 here. Takes, how shall we recapture? I think with the bishop. Few good options. We could take on e4 as well. That comes to mind. Yeah, that's not crazy. Taking on e4. Yeah, maybe. I'll give it a try. Imbalances things a little bit. We have the center. If this trade happens, the A pawn will be weak. I'm basically saying that the center is more valuable than black's C pawn, which is blockaded very nicely. Yeah, we got to watch out for that. Queen A1. It's not really the move you want to play. It feels very offside for the action in the center. I think we are just going to move the rook, but yeah, kind of annoying. Don't want to do it. If we take, can the rook take back? I assume yes, but yeah, I think yes. Still, I think I'm going to do it. Okay. Let's try to put this knight on c5. Whoa. That's a cool move. I think it might work as well. Dang. And we're probably gonna have to take anyway. Now, I wonder about this. I don't think that this is correct, but we keep our c pawn. We don't really care about that. It's all about keeping the c pawn. But what happens here? Unfortunately, I can't really support the pawn. So I'm trying to figure out how to actually push it or do anything with it. Tricky. We need an escape square, I feel. Ooh, did not see that, but that's okay. It just comes down to our rook pre-moves. The nice thing about the rooks is, you know, you can kind of pre-move them non-stop here. Okay. More pre-moves. Don't know if that was smart. Damn. Dr. Anatoly got us. I do think that the rook shuffling is very smart. Now here I could only really go here because like I'm not really going to do anything if I take. Unfortunately, I'm never going to get my king up here. So we kind of ran out of time. Good strategy. Only strategy I think you can employ. Definitely one to keep in mind. If you have the rooks versus the queen, like just check, or not check, but move the lead rook rather. I didn't realize that the bishop was coming around to take our pawn. We didn't have to give up our queen, but it's not really sacking the queen. It's more queen for two rooks in balance. So I'm not too upset with this, but unfortunately our explanations are costing us a bit too much time here. And this was a nice one, c5, very well timed. I definitely thought that he would maybe take and go knight e3, or perhaps do it in a different order. Same sort of idea, but really it's just an exchange. The way he did it though, gave me the extra option to take, and you can't really refuse. I mean, if you say no, then this happens. Yeah, you're not happy there. So the way that he did it was smart, because we kind of had to go into the queen versus two rooks, which I think is fine for white, but given the time situation, very intelligent, because we're just not going to have enough time, I think, to make it to the end there. Pretty nice game. We've had this position, oh man, so many times before, I want to say. Very common. B5, A4, bishop A3. Here, perhaps just taking back keeps things nice and simple. But I think you're only happy when you get these games. I probably should have decided to go for the more ambitious knight e4, but it's definitely not necessary. Taking back here, I think, is simple enough. Maybe what we should have done. Here we go. Polish on Polish action. This is what we're here for. Bring the bishop back. Think c4, but now that we're seeing this, it is looking like the move d4 is going to happen. So this is something we don't usually see, because we always get hit with knight c6. And for some reason, it's a little annoying. And d4 is that move we really don't want to see pretty much ever. I guess we're going to castle. We have to put the bishop over here this time. Normally you would always put it here, but I feel like we should have played c4 move earlier, because if we wait, perhaps we allow something like this. d4. Let's play c4 now. Still don't like dealing with d4, but I feel lost without my move. Definitely knight takes. This is, I don't think, correct. I really don't like knight b4. Bishop c3 is one thing, but if I have to deal with knight b4, Don't know that I have an easy answer. We want to play rook e1, rook b1. This pin is hella annoying from a5. Walking into the pin, but I don't really know what else we can do about it. Bishop f1. Let's try to trade some stuff here. Get out of bishop c3. Now I'm definitely looking at c5. Question is just how and when to incorporate an idea like that. I guess we'll chuck it in there now. Some threat. First one of the game. Bishop d6. Maybe just to anchor that piece in there. Whoa. All right. Our bishop pair. Will it finally do something? GG. Polish on Polish action. This was annoying. Definitely makes me think that we should play c4. I could tell immediately that something was amiss. Effectively, we've never had to worry about this because, you know, if this would happen, this would be a problem. Basically, black is getting d4, and we hate this move. But what's always occurred is knight c6. And we always get c4 because d4 can't be played. Now, what should occur is that after this, we should voluntarily bring our bishop back, or we should play c4. I think c4 is the obvious answer. Because if I don't, then what happens is, well, if I play c4 now, I get hit with this. And you never want this. This is absolutely horrible. Just lost, actually. And if I bring my bishop back, well, it doesn't really change anything. It's still the same problem. So there's not really a way I can play c4 anymore, which means we need to do it now. So I guess I didn't really realize that c5, knight c6 was such a threat. And if it happens now, much less impact due to the diagonal. There'll be something like bishop b5, etc. Gotta get c4 in, otherwise no good. All right, we're playing a grandmaster here. We're not playing a grandmaster here. Okay, b4. there, done that with this position. Like d3 to stop e4, something I usually do in these fianchetto positions. Knight d5, for example, could be good. Knight d2 later on. Queen c2 is bishop f5. We can also go knight d4 as well. I don't mind that. Try to play f3. Trading is perhaps useful, but I've got this to worry about. Let's kick this knight away. Now we know c6 is probably happening. That's not the end of the world, though. I think we'll take this way. Does play it. I think we'll just retreat here. It's a good looking move. Let's go to the b file. a3 bishop a1, of course. King h1 will be useful. Bishop f1 will be useful. Get off this diagonal. Ooh, played this one pretty quickly, but leaving the knight hanging is for sure a mistake. And there was no threat because of that. So be much better off playing any of the two moves we just talked about. And this is exactly what I mean. No need to have this knight hanging. Don't like that one bit. And f4 is going to chase my bishop where it wants to go. So I don't think that's annoying. Let's play king h1, the other move that we said was important. And I think we're more or less back on track now. Target this pawn. That's a strong knight, but I think we're going to be okay here. Let's take... I think we'll take this. b4, we have queen b2. Definitely looks like the right move. Everything is covered here, just about, just barely. Knight here. Fortunately, we're dropping the a pawn, so do we really have to play a3? Boy, that's an annoying move to have to play. I really don't care for it. But I don't really like the other options. I thought that our queen on d4 would be so strong, but it's really not feeling like that's the case at all. I guess a3, but man, not a good looking position. So knight f4, definitely, if the queen doesn't exchange. I think we just kind of have to do that. I do need an escape square, but that's not something I'm sure I have time for. Check leads to almost a mate. Almost. Yeah, I think that move does look like the correct one. You should try to play this rather than trade, for example. And queen takes d4 is a threat. F4. And we just won't take that. We'll safeguard our rook. And that will be enough. What happened here? E4, yes. I thought knight d5 was going to be good here. We just need to get rid of these knights, but yeah, I was pretty happy with the game, except for when a4, queen a5 started happening. Like, we started to play it a bit suspicious, and here I knew we were kind of recovering a little bit. And I gotta say, this is now in hindsight the obvious move. We just keep pressure here, and okay, only white can be better. I thought this was just gonna be wicked good for us. Like, we check in the middle of the board and support the rook, but it's just not good. It is just not good. That was surprising to me. Thank you, Raul Thor. 31 months. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, 928 for 30. Okay, we'll go b4. Feel like we've been in this exact position many times. Definitely don't think giving up the light squares like that is good. I don't think it's good. Let's drop this bishop back. We have b4, bishop a3. A few moves to consider here. I like the bishop pair, but remains to be seen if we can hang on to it. d4 a bit less desirable now due to the weak dark squares over there. Let's see what happens. 96. Basically taking here and playing rook b6 looks like pretty good counterplay. That looks like some pressure. d4 and taking with the rook looks interesting. Yeah, not crazy. Not crazy. Let's go with the rook. I think we'll see queen e7. Bishop takes e3. Yeah. There's a knight a4 move at the end of a lot of lines, so I don't really think this can work out for us. Probably gonna have to play this. Oh, this one we can take. A little bit bailed out. Definitely the right move. Gonna have to go here. No, 94. I think it's a bit too risky to go to h4. I considered it though. Rook c8 has some very nasty intentions. Rook always has to stay on b3 now, at least. Rook d6. Many moves missed. There's no doubt about it. I really did not rate bishop g4 takes f3 too highly. Give up the dark squares but claim the light squares. Just cannot be good enough. But rook b6, allowing bishop e3. Feels like we allow one pretty sizable tactic per game. You know, even a move like king h1 here or rook d1, I mean, just keeps such a big advantage. But yeah, I missed one move, and then all of a sudden it's a dogfight yet again, and a pretty bad position. Knight a4, I think, is pretty much the end of the game here. I was very surprised that it wasn't played because it's a minute on the clock, and I actually think this line doesn't make a lot of sense unless you're playing this. You and me both, Emma Unchained. You and me both. Start with b4 as usual. I think we'll go c4 next. wonder if he's trying to play e5. Otherwise, e6. e6 looks pretty standard. I think we'll just go for the usual. Now, I always end up thinking about taking on c6 and playing knight d4 in these positions. It's kind of my go-to. It seems to work pretty well. Just take here. And then we're going to take here, right? So black's going to castle and then play knight b6 and knight takes d5. What are we going to do against that? Because that d-pawn is very difficult to support. Black should definitely castle with bishop g7 being threatened. But this move looks a little bit more desperate. Yes, it's probably not a good move. So we'll prevent castling, and we'll also threaten to win the bishop with a3. Funny move is queen g4, threatening to win our queen with bishop takes d2. That will not get played, and as a result, we should win the bishop. Okay, there's still a game to play here because knight b6 is coming and d5 is dropping. So we would do well not to assume that it's just over. What I will do is start with this, knowing that black has to keep the queen on the board. Now, I'm not looking to keep this pawn. Really just looking to move my king. Here, I think g5 is a threat to win the bishop, so I am going to play rook c1, but yeah, if we see any kind of trade here, just move the king, bring the rook. I think we should be just fine. Okay, this move has some threats. Queen b5, we have this. We should be fine. Also, we have queen c4. Let's guard that. Queen here, we have queen c4. Well, getting to trade that's definitely going to be a winning position for white now with the extra bishop. And that is going to be GG. I have some success with taking and playing knight d4. It's just such an unexpected tactic. And I say tactic because it's not just that you allow this trade, it's that the result is that the d pawn is also loose, and so everything kind of falls apart. This one, I think black should have castled. That was a missed opportunity here. All of a sudden, the pieces are stuck. You're losing something here. Bishop, knight. It's hard to keep everything. GG, and that's 25. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of another episode of the 1v4 speedrun. I hope you found this as tricky and successful as I did in the series. And remember to subscribe to the chessbrah YouTube channel if you're not already, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when we drop our next upload.